إمام أحمد رضا إمام أهل السنة إمام أحمد رضا إمام أحمد رضا إمام أهل السنة إمام أحمد رضا.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, we once again welcome you in our program Imam of Ahle Sunnat. In this program we talk about the seerah of Sayyidi Al Hazrat Shah Imam Ahmad Raza Khan alayhi rahmatur rahman. Today our topic is saintly miracles of Sayyidi Al Hazrat Shah Imam Ahmad Raza Khan alayhi rahmatur rahman. So be with us from start to end, inshallah. You will be learning a lot today. Dear respected viewers, before we proceed towards our topic, let's make few good intentions. Shaykh Tariqat, Amir of Ahle Sunnah, Maulana Ilyas Attar Qadri Damat Barakatuhu Al-Aliyah has given us a beautiful mindset that we should make good intentions before we perform any permissible task or any good deed. So I make this intention, inshallah, I will present this program for the pleasure of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. You make this intention, you will be with us from start till end. You'll remember what you learn, and you'll pass this knowledge on to others too. You can make as many good intentions as possible, because when you make good intentions for one particular good deed, then the more intentions one makes, the higher the reward he attains. Alhamdulillah, Al Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayh has written approximately 40 intentions just to go towards masjid for salah. So can you imagine, some people, they just go towards masjid and they've got maybe one or two intentions that we will go and offer salah there with jama'at there, but subhanallah, 40 intentions. Sayyidi Al Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala whose seerah we are learning, he has mentioned. So we can earn immense amount of reward when we have knowledge of intentions. And alhamdulillah, Shaykh Tariqat, Amir of Ahle Sunnah, he always reminds us to do so. And we should also make good intentions. Let's come towards our topic. The topic is saintly miracles of the day. Today, in our panel, we've got Brother Waqqas Attari, Muballigh of Dawat Islami, and Brother Muzammil Attari, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Waqqas, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. How are you?
Jazakallah. Thank you very much for your time. Muzammil bhai, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
Jazakallahu khairan for coming. Dear respected viewers, as I earlier said, today we will be talking about saintly miracles of Sayyidi Al Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayh. I would like to find this opportunity to explain first of all what is a miracle, and especially saintly miracle. Right? Anything unusual, supernatural, which does not happen normally, habitually, right? That is known as mu'jiza if it is performed by Nabi. And the same act, supernatural act, unusual act, something which does not normally happens habitually, if that is performed by a wali of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, a friend of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, that act is known as karamat or saintly miracle. So inshallah, today we will be talking about saintly miracles of Sayyidi Al Hazrat Shah Imam Ahmad Raza Khan alayhi rahmatur rahman, who was a great friend of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, a great Ashiq Rasul, a great devotee of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. Let's start. Waqqas bhai, what would you like to share with the viewers of Madani Channel in this start?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Zabay, a whole volume can be written just about the miracles of Sayyidi Al Hazrat Rahmatullah alayhi, how much in his life what happened. And it's been written that one of the biggest miracles of karamat is just to follow the Sharia.
Allahu Akbar.
How to follow the Sharia properly, that in itself is a big karamat as well. And especially at the time of Sayyidi Al Hazrat, when there was a lot of people, disrespecting the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam at that time, that was his own karamat to stay steadfast on Sharia.
Not rather, it was fawqul karamah. It was better than karamat, istiqamat,
subhanallah, which is amazing in itself. One beautiful karamat which has been mentioned is a marid of Sayyidi Al Hazrat Rahmatullah alayhi. His name was Amjad Ali. What happened was that once he took his rifle to go out hunting, and by accident a stray bullet came out of his rifle and it hit somebody and he killed them.
Okay.
So then Amjad Ali was later arrested for murder. He was tried and sentenced to death by hanging. So the death sentence has been given to him.
Rather, it was an accident actually.
It was an accident, but because it came out of his gun,
Right.
out of his rifle, he was sentenced to death. A few days after his execution, a few members of the family visited him in prison. After he was arrested and taken away, some family members came to visit him in prison. What did he say? He says that they began to weep bitterly, crying. He smiled at them and said, "Go home and do not weep. I will return on the day of my execution.
Subhanallah.
My Pir of Murshid Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah Alayhi has released me." So he said, "You go home, no need to cry. My Murshid, my Pir of Murshid Ala Hazrat has released me." On the night of his execution, so tomorrow he's getting executed, on that night his mother came to see him. She was again sad, crying. He says, "Mom, go home, don't cry." So he goes, "You go home, I'm coming to have breakfast with you in the morning." So she was shaken and she went home. The time arrived. Amjad Ali was escorted to the gallows where the hanging was taking place
Allahu Akbar.
to be hanged. The noose was put around his neck. The rope was around his neck. The authorities asked him if he had any final request,
Okay.
which is the way of nowadays as well. If you have any final request, he was completely composed and replied, "There is no need to request anything. My time of death has not come yet.
Allahu
My
Akbar.
time of death has not yet arrived."
He had yaqeen.
The rope is around his neck.
Allahu
He's
Akbar.
about to be hanged and he said, "My time of death has not come yet." The authorities were baffled by his composure. What is this guy talking about? The rope is there, he's saying, "My time of death has not come." Nevertheless, they decided to proceed with the hanging. As they were about to hang him, the authorities received a telegram. What did it say? The telegram stated, a certain number of prisoners were being pardoned by the monarch. Amjad Ali's name was on that list. He was immediately released. As promised, he went home to have breakfast with his mother.
Subhanallah.
In this karamat of Ala Hazrat, not only was Amjad Ali pardoned, but many other prisoners were freed as well.
Allah.
This was the status of a marid. What the marid got of the karamat, then what would be the status of his Pir of Murshid? What would be the blessing of the one who has a teacher, a scholar, a Pir with this maqam? This is Ala Hazrat's marids happening. Can you imagine what a special personality this was, Sayyidi Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah Alayhi.
Subhanallah. Dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, there is another beautiful saintly miracle of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayhi before me. Qazmin Maulana Muhammad Amjad Ali Azmi Sahib, he says that once Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayhi, he was delivering Dars Hadith, right? And he was teaching, he was giving Dars Hadith, and he says we were taking Dars from him. And it was not his habit, but Khilaf Adat, he Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayhi stood up from there, and for 15 minutes he went inside, and he came after 15 minutes, and he was a bit worried and a little bit, you see, the signs of worry were on his face. He came back, and after that I saw that both of his sleeves, right, they were wet. He ordered me to give me another shirt, which is not wet. So I went and I presented in the court of Sayyidi Ala Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayhi. He Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayhi changed and started giving Dars again, Dars Hadith. I thought, what has happened actually, that out of blue, Sayyidi Ala Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayhi stopped giving Dars Hadith, stood up, he went for 15 minutes, he comes back, his sleeves are wet, and I noted that date exactly and that time. And after that, what had happened, when 11 days passed, after 11 days when they were passed, I saw that the people, a group of people, they came in the court of Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayhi, and they had brought few gifts for Ala Hazrat Alayhi Rahmah. And when they were about to go, when they were leaving, I asked him that, where do you live, and where have you come from, and what was the reason of your arrival and coming here? They mentioned their account, those people who had come in the court of Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayhi. Now they mentioned their account that on such and such date, we were traveling in a ship, right, in a boat, you can say, and all of a sudden, the heavy wind started, and our ship or boat, it was about to drown. The signs of drowning, right, they were appeared. Now we got scared, and suddenly we presented the wasila of Ala rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh, and we intended to give niyaz. Allahu Akbar. And when we made the tawassul of Ala rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh, subhanallah, Allah tabarak wa ta'ala helped us. And what we see, that a person came near our boat, and he held our boat, and he brought it to the bank of the river. Allahu Akbar, subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. And that is the reason, with the barakah of Allah Hazrat rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh, we were saved. And that's why, because we had intended nazar, so we have come here to fulfill that nazar. And we have come to see Allah rahmatullahi ta'ala. My dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, this is the Zat of Allah Hazrat alayhi rahmah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. May Allah tabarak wa ta'ala shower countless blessings upon His shrine and forgive us for His sake. What powers Allah tabarak wa ta'ala had granted. Now you see, Waqas bhai, if these powers are granted to friends of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, right? They can see what's going on somewhere, and some boat is about to drown and somebody is, Allahu Akbar, in need and help. So what about the Zat of Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam? Faryad ummati jo kare hal izhar mein, mumkin nahi ke khair bashar ko khabar na. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ye shan hai khidmat garon ki, sardar ka alam kya hoga. May Allah tabarak wa ta'ala give us understanding. Waqas bhai, any other beautiful saintly miracle of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat?
Another karamat which has been mentioned, a woman once came to Ala Hazrat crying. She reminded him that once that you made dua for me for a child. I had a child, but the child is dead. She told him that the child had now passed away and she could not bear the loss anymore. I can't bear it, this child has gone. She wept and pleaded to Ala Hazrat to bring this child back to life again. That you done dua, I got a child, now it's dead. Bring the child back to life. Ala Hazrat went to the home. He noticed that the child was lying on the bed covered with a sheet. In the meantime, the mothers of the child continually asked Ala Hazrat to bring the child back to life. Ala Hazrat rahmatullah alayhi removed the sheet from the face of the child, placed his blessed hands over the child's eyes, and said to the child, "Son, wake up and listen to that which your mother is saying." All of a sudden, the child began to cry.
Allahu Akbar.
All those present were astonished. They thanked Ala Hazrat rahmatullah alayhi abundantly for his blessing. He humbly smiled and said, "I did not do anything. He was asleep, all I did was wake him up." Subhanallah. Can you imagine the power Allah Azza wa Jalla had given to Sayyidi Ala Hazrat rahmatullah alayhi? So this was the karamat of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat rahmatullah alayhi. That even such power, as you mentioned, bringing the boats out of the sea, raising the dead children again, back giving them life again, by the will and the power of Allah Azza wa Jalla.
And sometimes, remember, my dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, shaitan can whisper that Allah tabarak wa ta'ala raises from someone from dead, right? But remember, Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, if He wants, then those people, right, makhluk, other than Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, if from the granted powers of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, they can also raise people from death. Yes, we find it in Quran when Sayyidina Isa ala nabina wa alayhi salatu wassalam, he was given this mu'jiza. He could give life to dead. And it was all the granted power of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. So there is no harm in understanding this very important fact. Let's proceed forward. I've got another beautiful saintly miracle of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh. That Sayyid Ayyub Ali Sahib, he mentions this account, that Sayyid Mahmud Jan Sahib, he used to live in Mohalla Gadi, this was a place there, the town. He says that one day, Maulana Sayyid Sulaiman Ashraf Sahib Bihari, he was professor of Islamic studies in Aligarh University. He came in the court of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh, and he presented fruits in the court of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat alayhi rahmah. And they included melons. Now, he took permission from Sayyidi Ala Hazrat rahmatullahi ta'ala alayh, and he picked up one melon and he recited 11 times Surah Ikhlas. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. 11 times he recited, and then he cut the melon. After cutting the melon, the first bite he took, so it was sour, it was not sweet. Now after that, Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayh took the melon, recited only once Surah Ikhlas, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, and when it was eaten, it was sweet. Subhanallah. So Maulana Sayyid Sulaiman Ashab Sahib, he said, I recite 11 times, but still it's not sweet, and you recite once, and that becomes sweet. So dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, this is the tongue, Allahu Akbar, of Wali of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Okay, we also recite same surahs, we also recite same Quran. But when a Wali of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, when a friend of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, their tongue which is always busy in the dhikr of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, in the remembrance of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, when they recite same kalimat, same dhikr, same adhkar, same wazaif, same awrad, same Quran, it has a different effect. And subhanallah, as we have heard from Hayati Ala Hazrat, subhanallah, this was essentially miracles. Further, if we go, Waqas bhai, if you could share some, inshallah.
It's mentioned that once a person lived in Bareilly Sharif who had distorted views regarding the ulama, the awliya Allah, and the spiritual connection between Pir and Murshid and the Marid. So he didn't really believe in these things, he had distorted views. So he had a friend who was going to see Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah alayh. So he said, come with me to Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah alayh, and maybe he would explain to you about the awliya Allah, about Pir and Murshid. Come with me. This guy, he had distorted views. So he said that by discussing this distorted views with Ala Hazrat, he will explain the correct beliefs and you'll be righteously guided. Come with me, Ala Hazrat will guide you, inshallah. Once deciding whether to go or not, he said, first buy me some sweet meats, some mithai. Buy for me some mithai, and then I'll go with you. The friend said to him, he agreed to buy the sweet meats for him on the way back. He said, come with me, on the way back I'll give you the sweet meats, but come with me. So when he goes, his friend agrees, and then nevertheless, after much convincing, he agreed to accompany his friend to visit Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah alayh. After entering his blessed home and sitting for a short while, a Marid arrived and brought the sweet meats out. So Ala Hazrat and his Marid used to give sweet meats to the gathering. Yeah. And what happened was, it was a procedure that all those with beards, they would get 2 sweet meats, 2 pieces. And those without the beard, they would get 1 piece, because they were considered as children at that time. What happens is, he's giving everybody, some people 2, some people 1, and this person with the distorted views, he gets 1 piece. But he's thinking to himself in his heart that, if I get another one, it'd be good. You know, what if I want 1 more piece of sweet meat? So the Marid who was responsible only gave him 1. Ala Hazrat, who was present there and witnessing the entire incident, instructed the Marid to give that person 2 shares. He said, that person, they give him another one, 2 shares. He said, Rasul, he's got no beard. The rule is that the procedure is, those who have a beard will get 1, those who don't have a beard will get 2. Allah Hazrat replied, give him, he desires 2. Give him. Allah Hazrat knew what he was thinking. Give him, he desires 2. When this person heard this, he immediately repented and became the Marid of Allah Hazrat Rahmatullah alayh. His desire was to receive 2 shares, and he realized that Allah Hazrat was even aware of the thoughts in his heart as well. So what we learned, that the awliya Allah, even the thoughts in your heart, they know what you are thinking as well. Especially people like Allah Hazrat Rahmatullah alayh. So it's mentioned that when you go in front of these awliya Allah, we should control our tongues, control our thoughts as well. And this is with the power of Allah Azza wa Jal. Awliya Allah given the powers to even know what we are thinking as well.
Subhanallah. Yes, beautifully said. When you go to present yourself before a scholar, at that moment you should control your tongue. But when you go and present yourself in the court of Sahib Hal, a Wali of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, friend of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, then you should also control your thoughts and what is in your heart. Definitely. Dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, now we will include one segment in our program in which we talk about one kalam. We talk about kalam of Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayh. A beautiful selection today we have got in front of us in Naat Sharif, in Naat of Mustafa Sallallahu Ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, poetry in the praise of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, written by none other than Sayyidi Ala Hazrat Shah Imam Ahmad Raza Khan alayhi rahmatur rahman. Inshallah, we'll try to learn what Ala Hazrat has written. At the same time, Brother Muzammil will recite that for us too. Dear respected viewers, today the kalam we have selected, that is, वही रब है जिसने तुझको हमा तन करम बनाया. वही रब है जिसने तुझको हमा तन करम बनाया, हमें भीख मांगने को तेरा आस्था बताया. तुझे हम्द है खुदाया, तुझे हम्द है खुदाया. Allahu Akbar. In this beautiful naat, Sayyidi Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi starts praising Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Subhanallah. But Subhanallah, the reason for praising Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, how beautifully he is mentioning the naat of Mustafa Sallallahu Ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. He is praising Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. He is mentioning the hamd of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. He says, वही रब है जिसने तुझको हमा तन करम बनाया. He is Rabb Azza wa Jal, who has made you from head to toe. Total blessing. हमा तन करम बनाया. Allahu Akbar. Mercy and blessing. हमें भीख मांगने को तेरा आस्था बताया. And Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has shown us your door to ask and to beg from your court. Ya Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. And for this reason he says, Tujhe hamd hai khudaya. Tujhe hamd hai khudaya. Allahu Akbar. Wallah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, the praise is for you. The praise is for you. No doubt, my dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has shown us the way what the court of Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, how in Quran there is a surah, وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ إِذْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ جَاءُوكَ. Right? This is mentioned in Quran, Allahu Akbar, when in case, if we do wrong to ourselves, right? If we make mistake, if we have done sins, what should we do? We should go to the court of Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Allahu Akbar. If, my dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, we have been directed to the court of Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. And inshaAllah Azza wa Jal, once we present ourselves there, and we ask forgiveness from the court of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, then Rabb Azza wa Jal is Rahman, He is Ghafoor, He is Rahim, and He is all forgiving, inshaAllah Azza wa Jal. And that's why Allah Azza Rahmatullahi Ta'ala is saying, वही रब है जिसने तुझको हमा तन करम बनाया, हमें भीख मांगने को तेरा आस्था बताया.
वही रब है जिसने तुझको हम तन करम बनाया, हमें भीख मांगने को तेरा आस्था बताया. वही रब है जिसने तुझको हम तन करम बनाया, हमें भीख मांगने को तेरा आस्था बताया. तुझे हम्द है खुदाया, तुझे हम्द है खुदाया, तुझे हम्द है खुदाया, तुझे हम्द है खुदाया. वही रब है जिसने तुझको.
सुभानअल्लाह. तुम्ही हाकिमे बराया, तुम्ही कासिमे अताया, तुम्ही दाफ़े बलाया, तुम्ही शाफ़े खताया, कोई तुमसा कौन आया. Allahu Akbar. What a beautiful couplet, what a beautiful praise in the court of Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala is saying, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you are Hakime Baraya. This word Baraya, he is picked from Quran, where it says Khairul Bariya, Sharrul Bariya. Here, the root word is the meaning which he has taken here, that is the makhluk, the jahan, the world. Allahu Akbar. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is hakim. He is being made the king of this world. Allahu Akbar, king of this makhluk and this universe. And then he says, Tumi qasimi ataya, and you are the distributor of the ni'mas and blessings of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. Tumi dafi'i balaya, and you are the remover of the calamities and problems and evils. Tumi shafi'i khataya, and you are the intercessor. Allahu Akbar. And you will intercede against our sins and our mistakes. Koi kaun tum sa aaya? Who else has come like you, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? none has come like you. Koi kaun tumsa आया.
तुमी हाकिमे बराया, तुमी कासिमे अताया, तुमी कासिमे अताया, तुमी हाकिमे बराया, तुमी कासिमे अताया, तुमी कासिमे अताया, तुमी दाफ़े बलाया, तुमी दाफ़े बलाया, तुमी शाफ़ाए ख़ताया, कोई तुम सा कौन आया, 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 वही रब है जिसने तुझको.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Further, he mentions beautiful praise. He says, "वो कवारी पाक मरियम, वो नफ़ख्तु फ़ीह कादम, है अजब निशान आज़म, मगर आमिना का जाया, वही सबसे अफजल आया." Subhanallah. In this couplet, Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayh is mentioning, Subhanallah, another beautiful praise of Mustafa Sallallahu Ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. He says, "वो कवारी पाक मरियम, वो नफ़ख्तु फ़ीह कादम, है अजब निशान आज़म, मगर आमिना का जाया." He says, the virgin, blessed lady, Sayyida Maryam, radiyallahu ta'ala anha, no doubt, Allahu Akbar, there was a mu'jiza of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala which was performed, that from that blessed virgin lady Sayyida Maryam radiyallahu ta'ala anha, Hazrat Sayyiduna Isa Ruhullah ala Nabina alayhi salatu wassalam was born. This is itself a great mu'jiza, no doubt. Itself is a great sign of powers of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. But he says, but the biggest sign of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, Nishani Azam, the biggest sign of the signs of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala is the birth of Mustafa Sallallahu Ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, is the birth of Imam al-Anbiya, is the birth of leader of Sayyidina Isa ala Nabina wa alayhi salatu wa salam, and that is none other than Sayyidina Rasulullah Sallallahu Ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. And he finally says, wahi sabse afzal aya, wahi sabse afzal aya, and he came the best. Allahu Akbar, he was born the best, and he is the best in the makhluk of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala.
वो कवारी पाक मरियम, वो कवारी पाक मरियम, वो नफ़ख्तु फ़ीह कादम, वो नफ़ख्तु फ़ीह कादम, वो कवारी पाक मरियम, वो नफ़ख्तु फ़ीह कादम, वो नफ़ख्तु फ़ीह कादम, है अजब निशान आज़म, है अजब निशान आज़म, मगर आमिना का जाया, वही सबसे अफजल आया, वही सबसे अफजल आया, वही सबसे अफजल आया, वही सबसे अफजल आया, वही रब है जिसने तुझको.
Subhanallah, mashallah. Let's come back towards our topic, inshallah. We will include few more ashar of this beautiful kalam of Allah Hazrat. Waqas bhai, today we are talking about saintly miracles of Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayh. Would you like to include few more?
Just the life and the existence of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah Alayhi is a miracle in itself. You see, we mentioned that when he used to sit in gatherings of Mawlid, Milad, 5 to 6 hours he was sitting in the At-Tahiyat position.
Allah.
The whole Milad gathering, he wouldn't sit normally, he would sit in the At-Tahiyat position. Which for us, as you mentioned, a miracle is something out of the ordinary, extraordinary. If us, we sit half an hour, 40 minutes, that's the way our legs are finished.
Sure.
But this is Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah Alayhi. When he used to sleep, he used to sleep in the way how you write Muhammad in Arabic. He used to sleep like that. This is true ishq. And another saintly miracle is the amount of work he achieved in his life. The work, the writing that he done, this is a miracle in itself. It's mentioned that by the age of 30, he had completed 75 books. He had 30 years of age. What's 30 today? 30-year-old is, just coming out of university, starting his life nowadays. But this 30-year-old had written 75 books. By the time he was 43, this number increased to 500 books. So in about 13 years, he done over 400 books.
And in those days, this computer, this technology wasn't there.
Exactly. So just imagine how much work Ala Hazrat done. It has been estimated that the number of books written by Ala Hazrat Imam of Ahle Sunnat exceed 1,000 on more than 50 branches of knowledge. 1,000 different books on 50 different branches of knowledge. Just to summarize a few, and this is the Karamat in itself. On Tafsir al-Quran, he's written 11 books. Aqaid, Belief, 54 books. Hadith and Principles of Hadith, 53 books. Fiqh, Principles of Fiqh, Dictionary of Fiqh, Faraid and Tajweed, 214 books. Tasawwuf, Wazifas, Morals, 19 books. Reviews of books, 40 books. Language, Arabic grammar, dictionaries, history, poetry, and special benefits, traveling, 55 books. Inspired knowledge, 11 books. He's written astronomy, astrology, 22 books. Mathematics and geometry, 31 books. Philosophy, sciences, logistics, 7 books. Algebra, 4 books. So can you imagine, it's not just, he was an alim, he was a scholar, but on topics like algebra, mathematics, astrology, astronomy, geometry, sciences, not only just the sciences, but the amount of knowledge which he has documented for us in his books and left behind for us as well, this is another karamat in itself. How much we can take benefit from this. And many mathematical problems and geometry problems have been solved by Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah Alayhi. Even today, people are doing PhDs on the life of Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah Alayhi. How did he achieve so much in such a short amount of space? So this is a karamat in itself, subhanAllah.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, we are talking about saintly miracles of Ahle Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala. My Shaykh Tariqat, Amir of Ahle Sunnah, Maulana Muhammad Ilyas Attar Qadri, Damat Barakatuhul Aliyah. Do you know the very first book he authored? What was the topic? That was the Zat of Sayyidi Ahle Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayh. Yes. This is the love my Shaykh Tariqat possesses for Sayyidi Ahle Hazrat alayhi Rahmah. And another beautiful book, Bareilly to Medina, he's written. And I would like to read what Sayyidi Shaykh Tariqat, Amir of Ahle Sunnah, has written, this saintly miracle of Ahle Hazrat, and I would like to quote that for you. Listen with utmost concentration. It's really amazing and beautiful saintly miracle mentioned by my Shaykh Tariqat, Amir of Ahle Sunnah. Amir of Ahle Sunnah says, in those days, I, meaning the author, Amir of Ahle Sunnah, used to lead Salatul Fajr, wearing the blessed Imam Sharif of Mufti Azam Hind, Maulana Mustafa Raza Khan, Rahmatullahi Ta'ala, alayh, in Haidari Masjid, adjacent to the sacred Mazar of Sayyidina Muhammad Shah Dula Bukhari, Sabzwari, Rahmatullahi Ta'ala, alayh. Situated in Kharadar, a locality of Babul Medina, Karachi, Pakistan. The blessed Imam Sharif of a Wali Kamil, friend of Allah, has touched my hands and head many times. This is what Amir of Ahle Sunnah is saying. Subhanallah. The fire of hell will not touch my hands and head. Allahu Akbar. This is the belief. And dear respected viewers, further he says, if it does not touch my hands and heads, the whole body of mine will also remain safe. So Ala Hazrat's son, his Imam Sharif, my Shaykh Tariqat, used to lead Salatul Fajr. And he has got this belief that inshallah, because that Imam Sharif was touched with the blessed body of a wali of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, who was son of Ala Hazrat. Now, this is the belief of Sayyidi Shaykh Tariqat Amir of Ahle Sunnat, that inshallah the fire of hell will not touch my hands and head, and when my hands and head will not be touched by the fire, inshallah whole body will remain safe. Further he says, actually, Allama Maulana Hamidur Rahman Qadri Razavi Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi, son of Khalifa of Ala Hazrat Maulana Jamilur Rahman Qadri Razavi, the Khalifa of Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi, used to lead Salah in this masjid. Since this blessed house was situated almost 6 to 7 kilometers from masjid, I was privileged to lead Jamaat of Fajr Salah. Whilst reading the blessed Imam of Mufti Azam Hind Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi, thus gaining its blessings, once whilst mentioning the virtues of Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi, Maulana Hamidur Rahman Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi told me the following account. Now, this was told Sayyidi Amir of Ahle Sunnah by Hamidur Rahman Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi. In those days, I was a small child. I clearly remember that Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi would always talk to me and another children courteously, nicely, kindly. He did not have the habit of scolding or treating anyone disrespectfully. One Thursday, I was present in the blessed house of Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi in Bareilly. Meanwhile, somebody came to meet him, but it was not the time when Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi met people. Since he was insistent on meeting, I went to the private room of Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi to inform him of the visitor, but I did not find him anywhere in that entire room. We were surprised at it, thinking where he had gone. We all were standing in complete astonishment, when all of a sudden Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi emerged from the very same room of his. We asked the secret of his sudden emergence from the room, despite the fact that we looked for him throughout the home, including that room. We had searched, but we did not find. So how did it come from the same room? When we insisted, Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi explains, Alhamdulillahi Azza wa Jal, I humbly visit Medina Munawwara from my room, i.e. from Bareilly, every Thursday at the very same time. SubhanAllah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. May Allah have mercy on him and forgive us without accountability. Dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, these distances, they are for us, people like us, but those, they are friends of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. This distance doesn't remain distance anymore. Allahu Akbar. With the granted power of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, they can move wherever they want to go. Yes, today technology has made easy for us to understand, with the power of this technology, the traveling of miles and miles and miles away. People are reaching within hours, right? And Allahu Akbar, what about the power of spirituality? If Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala wants, then these awliya Allah, friends of Allah, they can reach from one destination to other with no time. Subhanallah. Dear respected viewers, today we are talking about saintly miracles of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi. Waqas bhai.
MashaAllah, what you have just mentioned was also proven by our grand Sheikh, the Sheikh of AHLE Sunnat, Qutb Medina. And he says that, what it is that I went to Medina Sharif, I was at Babu Salam, and I looked at the golden graves of Muajir Sharif, and I saw Ala Hazrat there. And I went towards Ala Hazrat, and Ala Hazrat disappeared. When I got to the Muajir Sharif, he disappeared. Then I looked, he was a bit shocked that Ala Hazrat came, he disappeared. He went back towards Baba Salam. When he went back to Baba Salam, he looked again towards the Muajir Sharif, and he saw that Ala Hazrat there again. He went again, he went to the Muajir Sharif. Again, Ala Hazrat disappeared. Third time he done the same thing, and he saw that Ala Hazrat was there again. But then he noticed, he says that I knew that this was something between the beloved and the lover, between the Prophet ﷺ and Ala Hazrat, that I shouldn't interfere in this. He has also testified and witnessed that Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi used to come from Bareilly to visit the Prophet ﷺ.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Very respected viewers of Madani Channel, let's include few ash'ar of Kalam of Ala Hazrat in our segment, inshallah, Kalam Ala Hazrat. Subhanallah, today we are talking about a Kalam of Ala Hazrat, that is, Wahi Rab hai jisne tujhko hama tan karam banaya, hame bheek maangne ko tera aasta bataya. Now, another beautiful couplet Allah Hazrat writes in this kalam, he says, Yahi bole sidra wale, चमने जहां के थाले सभी मैंने छान डाले तेरे पाए का न पाया तुझे यक ने यक बनाया. Subhanallah. What a beautiful poetry. Allah writes, Yahi bole sidra wale. Here he is referring to all the angels, according to one sharab, it is written, including Sayyidina Jibreel Ameen alayhi salatu wassalam, including all the angels of Sidratul Muntaha. Yahi bole sidra wale chamane jahan ke thale. All the circles everywhere in this universe. Chamane jahan ke thale sabhi maine chan dale. We've searched everywhere. Sayyidina Jibreel Ameen alayhi salam is saying, I have searched everywhere, but I have not seen anyone like you, Ya Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Yahi bole sidra wale, chamaye jahan ke thale, sabhi maine chan dale, tere paaye ka na paaya, tujhe yak ne yak banaya. Another poet, he writes, subhanallah, the saying of Sayyidina Jibreel Ameen alayhi salatu wassalam in these words, Afaqaha gardida am, mere buta warzida am, bisyare khuba dida am, par tu cheeze di gari, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Yahi bole sidra wale, chamane jahan ke thale.
यही बोले सिदरा वाले चमने जहाँ के थाले. यही बोले सिदरा वाले चमने जहाँ के थाले. चमने जहाँ के थाले सभी मैंने छान डाले. सभी मैंने छान डाले तेरे पाए का न पाया. तुझे यक ने यक बनाया. 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 वही रब है जिसने तुझको.
Subhanallah. He further writes, अरे ए खुदा के बंदो जरा मेरे दिल को ढूंढो. मेरे पास था अभी तो अभी क्या हुआ खुदाया. न कोई गया न आया, न कोई गया न आया. Ala rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhis ishq and his love for Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam is reflected. He was present in Bareilly Sharif, but his heart, his conscience, see, everything was in Medina. It was in Medina Sharif because his beloved, subhanallah, Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam is resting in Madinatul Nabi Zadahallahu sharfan wa ta'zima, and he says, "Ay Khuda ke bando, koi mere dil ko dhondo." Oh people, please find, where is my heart? Search my heart. I have lost. It was just with me for a while ago. Where has it gone? Na koi gaya na aaya. No one has come and no one has gone. Where is my heart gone? And then he further says, हमें ए रज़ा तेरे दिल का पता चला बमुश्किल. अल्लाहु अकबर. हमें ए रज़ा तेरे दिल का पता चला बमुश्किल. धरे रौज़ा के मुकाबिल हमें ये नज़र तो आया, ये ना पूछ कैसा पाया, ये ना पूछ कैसा पाया. और रज़ा, when you, Allahu Akbar, the Islamic brothers, when Raza's heart was searched, where was it found? In front of the mazar of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam in Medina Sharif, where dare Rawza ke muqabil hame ye nazar to aaya. But we cannot tell you in what condition we have found. It was lost in the love of Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Allahu Akbar. Jano dil hosho khirad sab to Madine pahunche. Jano dil hosho khirad sab to Madine pahunche. Tum nahi chalte Raza sara to saman gaya. Allahu Akbar. This was the love of Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Ala Hazrat Ali Rahman possessed, that his his soul, his body, his heart, his conscience, his intellect used to remain in Medina. All the luggage was there. And he says, everything is gone to Medina. Oh Raza, why don't you go to Medina? Allahu Akbar. And dear respected Islamic brothers, when his heart was searched, it was found in Medina to Nabi, before the blessed shrine of Mustafa sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Hame ay Raza, tere dil ka pata chala. Wa mushkil.
अरे ए खुदा के बंदो अरे ए खुदा के बंदो कोई मेरे दिल को ढूंढो कोई मेरे दिल को ढूंढो अरे ए खुदा के बंदो कोई मेरे दिल को ढूंढो कोई मेरे दिल को ढूंढो मेरे पास था अभी तो मेरे पास था अभी तो अभी क्या हुआ खुदाया न कोई गया न आया 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 वही रब है जिसने तुझको हमें ए रज़ा तेरे दिल का पता चला बमुश्किल का पता चला बमुश्किल हमें ए रज़ा तेरे दिल का पता चला बमुश्किल का पता चला बमुश्किल दरे रोज़ा के मुकाबिल दरे रोज़ा के मुकाबिल वो हमें नजर तो आया ये न पूछे कैसा पाया 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 वही रब है जिसने तुझको
Subhanallah, mashallah, beautiful. Ji Waqas bhai, it's time to conclude now. Finally, what would you like to share?
Once Sayyidi Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah Alayhi went to the harbour to welcome some Hujjaj, people coming back from Hajj. But the vehicle that was booked was late.
Okay.
So one of the people with them, one of the devotees with Sayyidi Ala Hazrat, his name was Ghulam Nabi. He went to bring a horse-drawn cart. That the vehicle is late, let's go bring a horse and carriage to take the people.
Right.
But when he brings the horse and the cart back, the vehicle that was booked has also come as well.
Okay.
So first the vehicle was late. When he bought this horse and cart, the vehicle had come as well. So he gives the money, it's mentioned here, gives a penny, which is a quarter of a rupee at that time, to the horseman and says, okay, we don't need you anymore. So everybody goes on the vehicle, goes back. Nobody else was aware that Ghulam Nabi had given 1 penny to this horseman. Some time passed. After 4 days, Ghulam Nabi came into the court of Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah Alayhi, who gave him a penny. He said, hey, here's 1 penny.
Subhanallah.
He asked, what is this penny for? Ala Hazrat Rahmatullah Alayhi replied, that day you gave a penny to the cartman. Ghulam Nabi was astonished and he has not told anybody. How does Ala Hazrat know? I didn't tell anybody. How is he? You started in deep thinking. I didn't tell anybody. People said to him, don't think. There's no need to think. Just take the penny. Why are you losing this penny? Allah. Take it as a sacred relic. Take it for barakah, take it for just take the penny, don't think. He took the penny. As long as he had this penny, he did not face any financial problem.
Allahu Akbar.
So not that did only Allah Hazrat know that he gave the penny, is the blessing of the penny Allah Hazrat gave, that he had faced no financial problems in his life.
Beautiful.
Alhamdulillah, this is, the Ashki Rasul, this is Allah Hazrat Rahmatullah alayhi. So I would say to one that we need to learn about such Ashki Rasul ourselves, teach our children. These are the role models for our children.
Rather than teaching the fairy tales and the stories, right, made up stories to our children, why not tell them these beautiful saintly miracles to our children? Why not tell them the mu'jizat of Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
There's so much, we don't need these story tales. You got about the seed of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the awliya Allah, especially about Sayyidi Allah Hazrat Rahmatullah alayhi, so many books. Pick up a book every day. Amir al-Sunnah give us a mindset of home dars. Sit down with your children. Instead of hours in front of the TV, 5-10 minutes, quality time. Sit down, let's read something about Allah Hazrat today. Let's read something about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
This book you've read, this saintly miracle, I think it is from Bareilly to Medina.
That's right, yes, Bareilly to Medina. It can be downloaded from Dawat Islami's website as well, free of cost. Put it on your phones, on your iPads, sit down and read it to your children. Inshallah, you see the blessing of this in your home, in your dunya and your akhirah as well, inshallah.
MashaAllah. Jazakallah, thank you very much for coming. Beautiful things to learn. Dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, that's all for today, inshallah. I hope you must have enjoyed. You can write us, how did you find this program? Inshallah, we'll be back with another beautiful episode of Imam of Ahle Sunnah. Until then, keep watching Madani Channel. Look after yourself. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala, ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
إمام أحمد رضا إمام أهل السنة إمام أحمد رضا إمام أحمد رضا إمام